Douglas Cooling and Heating, serving the Birmingham area for 38 years. 988-3706. That's Douglas.
This is your Weather Xtreme video for Friday, August the 5th. TGIF, and here comes the weekend. It looks like we might have some showers this weekend, but fewer showers today. Skycam imagery this morning. There's a look at the shot from Birmingham as we look off toward the rising sun in the east-northeast sky, and certainly going to be a little bit muggy this morning, but other than the humidity, it looks like we'll see a few less showers. Similar shot as we look out from Jasper, looking off to the east-northeast, and beautiful sunrise over there too. We're still dealing with a somewhat of a stationary front boundary up to our north. The chart suggests that it is sagged a little bit further to the south, coming from the Tennessee-Kentucky line down to the Tennessee-Alabama line, but it's kind of hard to find in there. Main action this morning seems to be an MCS out over the Central Plains states. But other than that, we do have low clouds across the southeastern U.S., but things are pretty calm compared to what we woke up to yesterday morning. The upper air chart overlaid on the water vapor imagery shows the big upper ridge centered over eastern Texas, making its influence felt across the eastern half of the country. That's going to wane just a little bit over the next week or so, which means that at least we should see temperatures returning to something akin to more typical for mid-August or so. But in the meantime, it is quite warm across the country, as you can see from all these yellow values. Yellow and orange and golds are above 60 degrees, so quite warm still. And across the central part of Alabama, we're running generally in the lower 70s. I'm sure there are a few spots getting into the upper 60s. I have to comment here that after kind of blowing the MCS yesterday in the forecast from the day before, I certainly did peg the temperatures because I know at my house we only got to 85 degrees for the high. So the combination of the rain being around as well as the clouds certainly helped to hold temperatures down and make it a somewhat more endurable day after all the upper 90s we've seen. Speaking of precipitation, QPF indicates that we're still going to be seeing showers across the southeastern U.S. You can see kind of a boundary draping all the way from New England down across West Virginia into Kentucky and Tennessee and then back into the Central Plains states. You can see the effects of the upper ridge over Texas, completely dry over there. Also in the Bahamas, you can see what could become Emily again. Will be affecting that area. We'll talk about the tropics in just a moment. Storm Prediction Center outlooking a slight risk primarily in the Dakotas, and that slight risk extends on day 2, slightly eastward into Minnesota, Iowa, and parts of Nebraska. Of course, we see the sea text, especially across the southeastern U.S., so if we get any thunderstorms, isolated thunderstorms could become or reach near severe limits. All right, there is what's left of Emily. Emily has been downgraded now and being influenced strongly by the combination of the terrain over eastern Cuba and Hispaniola, so it is now pretty much an open wave. You can look at the infrared picture, and you can see that indeed there's very little in the way of serious convection. Models have come into agreement now with recurving that system. You can see that they're fairly tightly clustered across the Bahamas and then recurving up before reaching the Carolinas, or recurving it back out to the northeast and out into the Atlantic. Do expect this to reform back into Emily after it gets away from eastern Cuba and Hispaniola. All right. And by the way, I just wanted to note, if we look at the way eastern Atlantic, we do see a number of cloud masses over the African continent, and those moving out into the tropical Atlantic. So we may be seeing things heat up here in the not-too-distant future. The 06Z GFS model run this morning, and there's our upper ridge, our upper high. We've got these little impulses, so it looks like most of the convection today should be down around the Gulf Coast. By Saturday, the ridge is a little bit flatter. 594 still there, but a little bit flatter indeed as the short waves across the northern tier of the United States continue to beat down the ridge a little bit. The ridge continues to be beat down, and the 594 contour goes away, indicating the weakening of the ridge on Sunday. But I think that we're seeing the beginning Sunday of a slight turn to a northwesterly flow. We see that even more on Monday. Again, with these little short waves, you can see one up over south central Canada, another one over, let's see, what's that, Illinois. Then on Tuesday, we have a little bit stronger one moving through the Great Lakes, and that will help to enhance our northwesterly flow just a little bit, so that Wednesday you see a general troughiness. Now, it doesn't get all the way down into our area as much as I'd like to see it, but at least this should prohibit us getting into those extreme temperatures, and also it will keep chances of rain, as you can see from the surface chart, by Wednesday. Thursday, the general troughiness is there. We've got a little impulse in the flow in the vicinity of Memphis, and that indeed could be a reflection of an MCS. We'll have to be watching for those as we see the possibility of them coming down in the flow on that northwesterly flow. Friday, we've got pretty much the same scenario a week from today, and once again, just scattered showers. Today, I think less showers. Tomorrow, we're back into the scattered shower regime. Extending the forecast out a little bit further, we do see the ridge pretty strong from Texas up into the kind of along the eastern slopes of the Rockies, but that does keep us kind of between things, so a slight northwesterly flow pattern, meaning I don't think we'll see any extremes. And then, unfortunately, the 594 raises its ugly head again. This is the 20th of August, Saturday, and indeed, I guess we're just completely not out of the woods just yet. Well, thanks for tuning into the Weather Xtreme video. Expect to have the next one posted Saturday morning around 7:30 or 8. In the meantime, I hope that you have a wonderful day, and Godspeed.
Each day there are new stories to tell about the people who live here and the place we call home.
All of the faces that I see, all of the places close to me, they're all part of all the best things about home.
Sharing your stories on ABC 3340, Alabama's news leader.